Hi guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to the channel and yet another reaction. Now before we get into it, I apologise for the lack of videos. You can probably hear it a little bit, but it happens every fucking time we go from summer into autumn. I always get a cold. And don't worry, don't be rushing out and buying fucking hazmat suits and hand sanitizer and stuff like that. I have not got the coronavirus. I've just got a fucking runny nose and a sneeze that keeps on coming. So if I explode into sneezes mid-video or you see a jump cut, I don't know if I will, but I've been doing it at the worst random times. So this one is by one of my favourite bands. I literally adore everything this band does, and I've been looking on Twitter because of course I got the notification for this yesterday when it dropped, and the amount of hate that it is getting, and without listening to it to actually reveal where the hate is coming from, which is what we're going to do now, there's so many people that, like myself, have an opinion, but the stuff that's been getting said to me, and one of the classic lines, one of the absolute classic lines I seen about this song today on Twitter was, there was no bleh in the song, and Bring Me The Horizon invented the bleh, and Architects take a massive, massive influence from Bring Me The Horizon. I was like, step away from the computer, because the fucking bleh was invented by fucking Sam Carter, who's the vocalist of Architects. That's why people do it today, because of this guy. So, little bit of a spoiler, apparently there's no bleh in the song, which doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter. It's a bonus if it's in there, but it doesn't matter. So, I've seen these guys live once, years ago, in a smaller venue in Manchester. I don't even think it was their headline show. I think they supported someone. And I've got a couple of their albums on vinyl, and I've got pretty much all their albums on MP3, digital, whatever. Literally love this band. And of course, they suffered the passing of Tom, the guitarist, who was a heavy, heavy influence on their music. He used to write all sorts. His guitar techniques and his guitar playing was just fucking out of this world. Another probably influence and inspiration to my playing, to be fair. But anyway, these guys have dropped a new song. It's called Animals. Comes out at Epitaph Records, who obviously they're signed to. Now, there's a new album coming out in February next year, and I've been doing a little bit of digging and a little bit of a looking around, and it features a song with Winston from Parkway Drive, my fucking boys right here. It features a song with Simon Neil from Biffy, and there's also a song with the guys from Royal Blood. His name's just fucking escaped me now, but yeah, the vocalist from Royal Blood. So the album already is making me excited. I want to get into the album. But this one's called Animals, and it's getting so much hate. It is getting, like, so much hate. So, I've lost my headphones. There they are. These fell off my knee. We're going to get into it, and then we'll come back and obviously talk more at length of my opinion and see what I think of it. But literally everything these guys have released I've loved. So we'll see. But here we go. Architects with Animals, the official music video. You're on fire, dudes. You need a fire extinguisher. Oh!
Everything seems ominous. Not feeling blessed, quite the opposite. The shouldn't feel so monotonous.
Okay.
It never rains but it pours. We're just a bunch of fucking animals, but we're afraid of the outcome. Don't cry to me because the fiction that we're living.
It's different, but it's fucking good.
Pull the pin.
Oh!
Should I just pull the pin?
Different with the samples going on in the background now.
I just pull the pin. I dug my heels. I thought that I could stop the road.
It's still Architects. There's a lot going on in the background.
Now I've lost the
snare sounds like it's tuned tight. Sounds like fucking the clown from Slipknot, fucking barrel. Oh. How are you building the something? He's smacking them drums in this. I really like this. Oh, that picking. Oh, what a way to end it, man. Wow. Wow. Right. Where do we start? This is going to have to be a proper breakdown of this song, people. First off, I'm going to say, I understand some of the people on Twitter. Not that fucking poser bastard that said that Bring Me the Horizon invented the... He can just fuck off. So, I can see it. I can appreciate people with a sensible opinion there. Yes, it was different. It was a different sound for Architects. It was a different kind of... Not a Tom sound, if you know what I mean. I get where they're coming from with that. So Sam's vocals, more singing, more shouty, less of the screamy, expected vocals in a way. Now, I've got a little bit of an analogy. I think I might know where the guys are going with this, but again, it depends on when they wrote it. So obviously with the coronavirus and stuff like that going on, bands can't tour. They can't make money from more hardcore fans, I suppose. Going to shows and stuff like that. So have they maybe toned down... I mean, I could be totally wrong, but have they toned down the heavy a little bit in favour of potentially more radio play? Like, that would get played all day long on Radio 1. It would definitely get played on The Rock Show, but Daniel P. Carter plays everything anyway. But have they gone for a more... I don't want to use the word watered down, because it was still chuggy and heavy as fucking parts. I mean, that opening riff is just, yes, I'm going to learn this song. Have they gone for a more slightly... And again, you've got to be careful with the way you word things, and I don't like the word mainstream, because it definitely isn't. Have they sort of come off the heavy pedal a little bit? Not much, but a little bit, in order to make revenue from other areas so that they can continue to do what they do. I mean, the guys have probably got a couple of quid anyway. They've been around for 11 years, I think it is. But they've got to make it up somewhere along the lines. They can't tour at the minute, they can't play shows, so they can't do that hardcore, heavy, always screamy stuff for the fans that would happily pay to go and see them, because obviously you can't gig at the minute. So have they sort of gone for, we'll replace that area of performance with maybe radio play and go for revenue on that side of things? It's a tough one, because it all depends on when it was written. Or option B, have they just gone, fuck it, we're going to experiment? Because again, this is the thing, bands as big as Architects, because they're fucking huge, like they're worldwide known, they can't do the same, and I wouldn't want them to do the same sound over and over again, and it's going to come back, and people are probably going to be saying about the whole Bring Me the Horizon thing, but Architects haven't just gone and flipped it straight on its head. It's still heavy in parts, it's still really low tuned. The vocals are still screamy-esque, shouty, not as heavy as Sam usually does them. But Bring Me the Horizon sort of just went and flipped it on its head. It does have the influences of old still in there, and as we know, Ollie's fucked his voice in terms of the highs. He can still do the lows, and I can see again, and I can understand, and I can appreciate where people are saying the Bring Me the Horizon influences are coming from, because with them samples and with them like sort of wails and siren-y kind of noises going on in the background, then yeah, Bring Me the Horizon are doing a lot of that right now. And don't get me wrong, I'm one of the world's biggest Bring Me the Horizon fans. I used to literally adore them. Like, there's a Suicide Season poster signed by all the original members over there. But for me, they changed too much too quick, if you're trying to see what I'm trying to say. Although some of the songs I really like. I mean, I literally love That's the Spirit, the album. Is it the one with the umbrella? Is that the one with the umbrella? Can't remember what it was called now. But on the subject of Architects, I wouldn't want them to make that sort of... And again, you've got to be careful, because it's not generic. Architects have a sound. They always have done. You know you're listening to an Architect song. And Sam has got a pretty unique voice, to be fair. But they can't keep making that kind of same sound album after album. Otherwise, they're going to get sort of a Fit for a King label on them. Because the new Fit for a King stuff, as much as it's some of the stuff I like, it's very predictable. And it's very heavy for being heavy. It's not heavy for a reason. It's just heavy because that's what we're known for. But Architects are known for doing that. The show I went to is fucking unreal. But they are sort of experimenting with the sound, but not taking the Architect sound away from that experimental sound. I mean, that song had so much going on. It was so complex. It was heavy complex. It was layered. There was all sorts going on in the background. The drums sounded different. The samples were new. They were different. Sam's voice was different, but you could still tell it was an Architect song. So I don't see why it's getting as much hate as it's getting. And a lot of people were probably waiting for my reaction and sort of opinion and review because of how outspoken I can be. But I really enjoyed that. I think that was a brilliant song. I'm really excited for the album now. But I've got a couple of ideas of potentially why they've done that. I could be totally wrong. I could be barking up the wrong tree, as they say. But it could be as a result of we're losing revenue in one area. Can we then put it onto another area? Or it could just be, fuck it, we're going to experiment. We want to change our sound up. Obviously, Tom, rest in peace, Tom. He's obviously gone now. Is that got something to do with it? I mean, you look at the description, then I'm just looking, and Dan, obviously Tom's brother, pretty much wrote, directed, recorded everything he's in the description for. He's done everything to do with this song, which is good. It's interesting. And credit to him for carrying on and staying in the band and stuff, and sort of continuing Tom's legacy, if you like, because he was heavily influential in this band. If you're not a fan of Architects, if you've never heard these guys before, seriously go back and listen to the back catalogue. They've got some amazing stuff, they really have. But yeah, I've got a couple of different thoughts on it. I thought it was a solid track. It really was a solid track. Breakdown, not as heavy as to be expected, but still in there. I can agree with the people online saying there's no blares. I just can't get past the fact that it's shit because he didn't do it. Because I think it was an interview a while ago, it was in Metal Hammer or something like that. He actually got to the point where he hates that being associated with him now. Or he dislikes it because obviously everyone associates it with him. Everyone put it in their music and stuff like that, and it's now as a staple in some metal songs, I suppose. But without going on too long, I really did enjoy it. It was really well put together, well structured, lots going on. I think if I listen to it again, I'll hear something different. So I like it, and I'm definitely going to be putting it on the playlist. But that's just my little 2 pence worth, as they say, from someone who's been a fan of these guys since basically they were ever a thing. So really good song, really good band, very, very talented musicians. So yeah, I will leave it there. Guys, thank you very much, as always, for watching. You'll probably see a new little Patreon screen or something pop up on the end screen now. I've designed that. And yeah, until next time, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and yeah, bye.